Hello, second graders. How are you? Mr. Del Pazzo coming to you from my basement again. I want to thank all of you for sending me your lemurs. I got lots of lemurs, and they're very cool. Not an easy drawing, okay? Those little feet, back feet, and the front claws and stuff, and the body, and very tricky drawing. They came out amazing. So that tells me that you guys are taking your time. You were pausing that, drawing when a video when you needed to, working on it. You want to do the same thing today. Today we're going to do our friend, yes, you got it, Snoopy, Charlie Brown's dog. And he's doing what he usually does, not a whole lot of anything. He's just kind of hanging out, sleeping on his dog house. So you're going to need a piece of paper. We're going to want to turn that paper vertical, because if we want to get, and if you can't get the whole dog house in, that's fine. We're going to do the doghouse first, and then we're going to put Snoopy on top of the doghouse. So we want to make sure we leave enough room at the top for Snoop. I've zoomed it in, so I don't know if you're getting all of me, but I don't care about that. I want to make sure you can see this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to erase this first, and then we'll get cooking. And we'll draw our Snoopy together. Make sure you've got not only a pencil, but make sure you also have an eraser. Okay. And make sure that you send me all these wonderful drawings when you're done. I can't wait to see this one. It's going to be very cool. Okay. So the first thing we're going to want to do, I'm going to start at the top of the doghouse and work our way down. So we want to make sure that we leave enough room at the top for Snoopy. Now we don't need a lot of room for Snoopy, so we don't have to put the roof of the doghouse like in the middle of our paper. We can put it a little bit higher. So if that's the middle of my paper there, I can go a little bit higher if I want. Now, when I draw the roof, let's see, when I draw my roof, I don't want to draw all the way to the side of my paper, because my roof kind of goes out a little bit at the bottom, so the top can't be all the way out. So I want to leave a little bit of space left and right, but it's just a straight horizontal line. Pretty simple. And then when I draw my roof, you'll see that my line is not going straight down. It's actually going out a little bit. Let's come over this side. We want to make sure these are the same point. They end up in about the same place. So it just kind of slants out a little bit. And then we're going to connect those two lines. Like that. Now, when I do the edge of my doghouse, I'm actually going to slant in. Start at the corner and go in. It's not very long. Start at the corner and go in. And then I'll connect those two lines. You can use a ruler if you'd like. No law against using rulers when you draw. It's perfectly fine. Now, for the bottom of my doghouse, it's going to be thinner than my roof. So I'm going to come in a little bit and just go straight down. You can go down as far as you want. I want to leave a little bit of room at the bottom, because I'm just going to do a little bit of grass. Okay. So going across the bottom and touching these two lines, all I'm going to do is just like little zigzags, little poof of grass once in a while. I don't think Charlie Brown mows his lawn very much, because it always seems like his grass is high. That's all. Got a little puffs here and there. And it touches the bottom, so that's pretty much it for the bottom. And as far as the detail on the doghouse, our nice bright red doghouse, are just going to be a couple little lines. They're usually skinnier. The details inside the doghouse, this is just like the pieces of wood going across. Usually like on Charlie Brown animation or cartoons, usually those lines are a little bit thinner. And then there's two up here as well. And you can just sort of space them so that the pieces of wood look like they're about the same thickness. That one and that one and that one. And then just a little bit of a shadow, right where our doghouse meets our roof, which is right here. Not the top one, this one right here. Right? This right at the bottom of the slant comes over. There's a little bit of a shadow. So if you want, you can draw a little line there. If you are only doing a pencil drawing and you're not going to color this in, then you can just take your pencil and just color this in. This is right under the roof. The roof is wider than the house, so they're trying to indicate or show you that there's a little bit of a shadow. So that's just a little shadow that's on the side of the doghouse that's coming from the roof. Okay, that's all. Very simple. And now the fun part. The star of our show, Mr. Snoopy. Now, here's the tricky part that I found when I was drawing Mr. Snoopy. If we make his nose too big, we run out of room. Because his head is going to start right at this end of the doghouse, and his feet are going to finish right at this end of the doghouse. So you want to make sure you draw lightly, because the first time I drew his nose, I had to erase and start over again. So, the way we're going to do this, his head is actually a little bit lower than the roof. So I'm actually going to draw his head going under the roof, and then I'll just erase the part of the roof right there. So what we're going to do, I hope you can see me, I'm not really blocking this. What I'm going to do right at the edge of the doghouse, I'm going to go up and make a little bump. It goes out, that's kind of like the top of his head. And then it's going to curve in a little bit. Not a lot, just a little. Top of his head. Right? And then it's going to go in a little. And that's where it goes up his nose. Now you can go as high as you want because we are going to put a little black nose on the end of this snout, but we don't need a lot of room up there. So you can go up as high as you want. But Snoopy's nose is a little longer than it is wide, but not a lot. Okay, so go up, around, and down. I think my nose might be a little bit skinny. See how that nose looks a little skinny? So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to erase a little bit of this side. I'm going to make my nose a little fatter. Okay? Now, I'm going to come down. I'm not going to go all the way to my house because he has a neck. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go, I would say right about where this bump is, if you follow that across. I'm just going to go around, whoop, start to curl up again. Okay? Right where that curl is going to be his collar. So if you want, you can just either just, if you're going to color it later, that's fine. I'm going to color it in because I'm using black, and his color's black. Okay. Now I'm going to go back up and make another hill for his belly. He's got a big belly. Like my dog, like Marley, like my dog. And his belly's going to go up, around, and down. Up, around, and down. You can make his belly as big or small as you want. I'm going to make my belly a little bit rounder. There we go. So, a little bit below the doghouse, around, bump, slowly curve up, curl around, come down, stop before you get to the doghouse because we want his neck. Curl up again for the belly, and then down. Before I go any further there, I'm going to come right back to here because he has an ear that hangs down. So right about a little bit, not in the middle of his nose, but a little bit to the left, he has an ear. So I'm going to do that ear right from this line that I made that goes a smidge below the roof of my house. And that ear is simply, it's going to kind of come around. It's going to go down, around, and swoop back up. Okay? You can make it wider at the bottom. You can make it a little bit. Now I'm going to color that in a sec because he's got a black ear. I'll leave that like that for now. And then watch this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to curve around. I'm still lower than the roof. See that? And I'm going to come up and touch his dog collar. So now what I can do is I can take my eraser and I can erase just this part of the roof of the house. So that his head looks like, see how his head looks like it's a little bit lower than the roof? It looks like he's laying on the roof, not like he's going to fall over it. Now, from the end of my belly, I'm just going to draw a straight line, not very long. Kind of goes parallel with the top of the roof of the house, which means it's the same direction. And then his foot is pretty simple. It just comes up. Make my leg a little longer. His foot's just going to go up, around, and right down to the end of the doghouse. Okay? Now he has 2 feet, and we can see a little bit of the other one. So right over here, peeking out from the other side, is going to be his other foot. Now you can see he has 2 feet. And he has an arm, we can see, well, he has 2 of them, but we can only see 1 of them. So just below his collar, okay, just below his collar, right about there, I'm going to draw a straight line that way. Okay. Just like that. You're right about when I get to the end of the belly. I'm going to curve down. I'm going to go below the roof again, okay? I'm going below the roof. And I'm going to come up and then just meet the roof. So if I erase this part of the roof right here, you can see that his paw is drooping down below. So it kind of went over, went down below, and then up, and then just connected to the roof. So we've erased another part of the roof, right inside the foot and inside the head. Whoops. And now all we need to do is a couple very small little details. In his foot right here, he's got 2 little lines for his toes, real simple. We have 2 little lines in his paw, vertical, those are up and down, like that. And because he's sleeping, his eye is closed. So right about where your head comes in, right about there, where it changes shape, that's where his eye is going to be. And it's going to be kind of on a slant. And that's Mr. Snoop sleeping. In his nose, a nice big circle up on top. And then when you color it in, we're going to do another circle on the inside like that. So the inside one gets colored in. The outside one is the reflection. So the reflection is not a circle. The reflection is a little white crescent moon kind of a shape. So it's 2 circles and the inside circle gets colored in. And then, I don't know if you're coloring it now, but since I'm not coloring mine, I'm going to color in his ear black. Okay. You can Google it if you want, so you can see what color everything is, but it really is basically simple. Snoopy's white, His nose is black.
What?
His ear is black.
Whose ear?
And then the shadow is black. The grass is going to be green. His doghouse is all red. So the bottom of the doghouse is red. The top of the doghouse is red. And that's pretty much it. And of course, when you are done, I definitely want to see these. All lowercase, M Del Paso at Germantown CSD.org. I think you're going to like this one. Take your time, pause it whenever you need to, okay? Definitely send them to me because I can't wait to see them, and I promise I will get back to you. I hope to see you guys soon, my second graders, but if not, I'll see you back here again.